I'm going to go against the grain here and say that in a world where everyone is telling you you need to start your own business and just do it and not really figure out anything else beforehand, I'm going to tell you to hit pause. I want you to stop, because just because you have an amazing business idea that sounds like it could be successful doesn't mean that you have what it takes to make it successful. At least not yet. Hello, creatives. Welcome back. And if you're new around here, hi, I'm Kat, your branding bestie. Here we talk all things branding. Sometimes we talk commentary on different things going on around us in the pop culture. And sometimes we talk about things on the internet that helps us to improve and grow our businesses. Today's a yap sesh. I'm here to not stomp. We're not here to stomp on dreams. But I do want to paint a fuller picture of the reality of starting a business and what you need to do to prepare yourself as a person to grow a business from the idea that you have in your head to something that is thriving with purpose. That's what I'm here for. I've seen many businesses that I've helped come, some go, and some thrive. And I feel like in this time where I've worked with so many different businesses, I've learned to recognize the traits that cause for success and some of the traits that maybe need to be grown or tended to before you take a step in growing that business. Let's start with an honesty checklist for how we know that you're not ready to step out and start a business, or maybe just altogether don't have what it takes to start a business. And if you check one or two of these boxes, or maybe even all of them, that does not mean that it is a definite no, you should never try to pursue, but it is an opportunity for you to really look at yourself introspectively and be honest with yourself. Do you want to change in some of these areas? Are you willing to step out and take risks in the areas that we're about to talk about? Can you grow in the character traits that you need to grow in order to build your brand successfully? So let's delve in. If you are not someone who's structured or built to have the entrepreneurial life in them just yet, you are someone who you desire structure, you need structure, but you want a structure that you can, that's already built, that you can grow into or that you can mold yourself into. You don't necessarily have the desire or the ability to create structure for yourself. Being an entrepreneur means you have to recognize what goals you have, what areas you need to improve, what projects you have going on, what kind of promotions and the things that go on to build those promotions, what you have going on in your business, the mechanisms of those things. You need to have a timeline for when those projects are completed and a deadline, so that way you're able to keep up with what you've got going on and continue to progress forward. Those are necessary basic traits that anybody needs to build their structure in their day and to continue to move forward in their brand. If you don't have that ability or don't have the desire to grow into that ability, then you may be one who you have a great business idea, but you want to hang back and maybe do your 9 to 5. If you are not one who's able to build that structure, that's just an opportunity for you to grow in that area. If you need to grow in those skill sets, there's so many resources out here. I've got resources that can help you build that structure. Stay tuned and we'll talk about that later. You are a person who is comfortable with a 9 to 5. Now, I am one who is all for having a side hustle, working your business, and not going broke. I don't believe in having a broke, starving artist. You need to eat, you need to pay your bills. So, of course, keep your 9 to 5. But if the end goal is not to grow your business to the point where you're able to let that go and you're almost afraid to let go of your 9 to 5, I wouldn't encourage that person to step out and start a business, because it will get to a point where it is more successful and you may make as much as you do in your job, and it may be that it affects your performance in either one, and you'd have to be able to choose. I'm not one who says that you can't have both, but you're not going to be able to scale it beyond a certain point unless you dedicate your all to it. And I'm talking to the person who's ready to dedicate their all to growing that business. So 9 to 5 for a season, yes, but when your business gets to a point where it's replacing your salary, then it's time for you to step out. And if you're not willing to do that, that's an area to grow, or an area to say, you know what, that's my stopping point. This is a cute little side hustle, but I'm not trying to grow it beyond that. And that's okay. You lack passion to hustle. When I say hustle, I'm saying put yourself out there, talk about what you've got going on, make a plan for how you promote, make a YouTube channel, do all the things that you need to promote your business and be willing to put yourself out there and take those risks. Someone who is afraid to experiment, afraid to even step out and start doing their social media, doing anything of the sort to promote themselves, going out and doing different events, or afraid to even start that YouTube channel or make plans to record those kinds of videos. That kind of person, I always encourage them, let's grow in that area first, because that is your basic promotion. That is how you build an audience. We are given platforms here where we're able to share what we do and do so freely and build a community around that. And if you're unwilling or afraid to do that, then that is a cause for pause. You're not ready to build your own business, because you have to be able to put yourself out there. You have to talk about your business, be willing to promote yourself and be your advocate. So if you're not there yet, that's okay. You can get there. You can start small. Take one opportunity where you're able to go and speak to someone about what it is that you do. You hear someone saying that they need something that's in your field, mention that that's something you do, but also be ready. What do you need to get? What kind of contact information do they need? Make sure you have those little things in place. And yeah, just stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what I define hustling to be. If you're not there yet, that's okay. Cause for pause, or it could be an area for you to grow. If you're someone who you are easily deterred or just ready to shut down shop because you heard the word no, then it's time to pause and let's thicken your skin a little bit. And that is not a cause for someone to stop. It will stop you though. It will be something that will cause you to not want to progress forward, because the reality is, in business, you're going to hear a lot of no's. You're going to hear a lot of no's and a lot of silence before you have a yes. And the goal for you is to get to the point where your skin is so thick that that no doesn't completely shut you down. You're still able to function and you're still able to navigate your plan just because you got one no. You will get 1,000 no's to your one yes. And it may not even be that high, but you have to be prepared to wait it out and continue to be consistent until you get your yes. And if you're not at the place where you can hear a no and it not cause you to question everything that you've built, then let's pause and let's kind of get a little thicker in that area before we continue forward. Now, this last one may be surprising, but if you are someone who is fully relying on the fact that this has been your dream and you have passion for this thing that you're doing to be what grows your business or what gives you longevity in your business, then I'm sorry, you're not ready to start your business yet. I'm speaking as someone who was very guilty of that. I have been passionate about business since I was a small child. I knew that I was called to business. I knew that I was called to start a business. And I was one who just fully thought that my passion was what was going to carry me. But after I started my photography business and I had the big boom of customers because they were interested in what I was doing and they slowly dwindled, I had to be honest with myself. I realized that I was not able to continue because no matter how passionate I was not thinking about my customer, what they needed, how can I elevate their experience, how can I give them excellent service so that they would want to work with me again. And I've had people who were loyal to me and it was really sweet, but I had to be honest with myself. I had an area where I needed to grow so that I could have longevity in my business. And the second I stopped focusing on my passion and built systems, built experiences for my clients, and put them first, the second that I started focusing on the structures and the things that build your business, that keep your business going, that was when I started seeing progress. I started seeing people come in and shifts and the things that I desired. And I recognized then that my passion for my dream was just a spark. It is not the gas in the situation. What keeps you going, what propels your business forward, are the structures, the systems you put in place, the clientele experience that you create, your social media marketing, how you target and strategize those things. All of that I learned, those were what was needed to build my business to have longevity. And now we're sitting here 8 years strong. All right, so I feel like that was a pretty okay list. I feel like that's a good honesty hour. It may have stung a little bit, but hold on. Let's not lose hope, because there are things we can do to improve, things we can do to position ourselves to where we are growing for success. I am going to talk about that in another video. I will touch fully on what you can do to position yourself to grow a brand. But I want to talk to the people who are like, well, okay, I don't fit all those boxes, but what do you need? Like, what are the characteristics of someone who does have the foundations to succeed? If you're built, or if you are positioned to have the foundation you need to build a business, you are not afraid of the journey to success. Meaning, when you have ups and when you have downs, you're keeping the main goal, which is seeing this business through and growing it to a place where it is thriving and it is progressing the way that you've dreamt of. Keeping that at your forefront. You don't allow anything else happening to deter you. You learn from your mistakes, you learn from those bumps on the head, but that is not to you the sign to stop. It is the sign to stop, grow, and navigate those spaces better when you have the opportunity to do so. And that leads me to my second point, which is your passion to see your dream be a success. Superior goes beyond your fear of failure. You have to have a tenacity and a grit, and you have to believe in yourself enough to know, you know what? No matter what mistake I make, I know that I still have a good product. I know that I can grow and I can thrive eventually, even if I have to pause real quick and learn from whatever mistake I made. And as I think I said earlier, even though you have a 9 to 5, you have a dream to see more for yourself or see something independently for yourself, because 9 to 5s are not bad inherently at all. They are great for people. Everybody's called to different things. Some people are called to work a 9 to 5, and that's where they grow and they shine. But some people, they got the 9 to 5 because it was safe. They got the 9 to 5 because it was stability for them, but they want something more. You know, end game for you is starting something for yourself. If you know that for yourself and you're not afraid to work hard, you have the foundations for what it takes to build and grow a brand. You just need direction. And in a world where it literally is your oyster and you have so many opportunities to build in different ways, I know it's difficult to know where you navigate. Where can you go to? How can you start? And that's why I'm here. That is what I would love to do, is help. I have branding strategy sessions where you sit with me one-on-one. We go over your goals. Whether you started your business or you are endeavoring to start, you still have the ideation in your head, not really sure where you want to go. We sit down together, we figure out where you are with your branding or where you need to start with your branding, and create a custom plan for your business that will help you grow and thrive and scale to where you need to go. And all of that is in a 90-minute session. I will leave a QR code. It'll probably be on the screen right now. I'll leave the QR code on the screen, and you can scan it and get yourself on my schedule, and we will be able to talk face to face. And it would be my honor to be able to help grow your business in whatever small role that I could play there. Bottom line is this: you do have a business in you. You do have a great, successful idea that really could grow to be something that could change your life and change the life of your future posterity. But you need to be positioned properly to be able to steward that well. Having that dream is not enough. Building and growing into the person you need to be to steward that, that is the end goal here. And if you are not there yet, that's okay. I'll have a video following up to talk about what you can do to position yourself. And if you do have some of those characteristics for what it starts, and you have that grit and that tenacity and desire to see yourself in a business full time, then that's a start. That's all you need to start. I hope this was encouraging, even though it was probably a little bit difficult to hear, but I hope that it was something that helps you to get clarity on where you stand, where you may need to grow, where you may need to challenge yourself and ask some questions, and maybe push yourself to actually start something. Anywho, it's time to move onward and upward. I will see you next time, and enjoy your day. Bye.